You want to become a lawyer in the UK in 2025? Well, first of all, let me say this, good choice, but also brace yourself because this journey isn't easy. It's long, it's expensive, and at times it will test your patience like nothing else. But, and this is the part that matters, it can also be one of the most rewarding careers out there. I know for me, I've had a love and a passion for family law for almost 25 years now, and I genuinely still to this day love representing clients. Now, whether you're picturing yourself in a wig and gown, standing in court and cross-examining witnesses as a barrister, or whether you see yourself, like me, working with clients every day, drafting contracts, negotiating settlements, or helping families through divorce as a solicitor, this video is for you. Because I'm going to break down the entire process step by step, the costs, the time, the skills that you need, and also give you the real truth about what it's actually like to be a lawyer in the UK in 2025. And I promise you this, by the end, you'll know which path is right for you. And maybe, just maybe, you'll save yourself a few headaches along the way. Before we jump into the how, let's make sure we're clear on the what. Because in the UK, unlike in America, for example, we split our lawyers into two main professions, solicitors and barristers. Let me put it really simply. Think of a solicitor as your go-to person for the day-to-day legal help. They're the ones you go to if you're buying a house, setting up a business, or going through a messy divorce. They're the ones that will handle the paperwork, the negotiations, provide you with the advice. Think of them as the legal project managers of your life. A barrister, on the other hand, is more like your specialist surgeon. They're usually brought in by your solicitor when things need to go to court. They're the people who stand up in front of judges, make arguments, cross-examine witnesses, and basically perform in the courtroom. They're the ones in the wigs. And yes, that tradition does still exist. Although what I would say on that is that family barristers, we don't wear wig and gowns, or they don't wear wig and gowns. I say that because I used to be a barrister when I first come to practice. In family court, we feel that that's intimidating, or the court system feels that's intimidating. So we would go dressed in normal suit, smart attire. So let me give you a relatable example. Imagine you're going through a divorce. You're probably going to meet with your solicitor first. They're going to explain the process to you, file the paperwork, maybe even negotiate with your ex's solicitor, or maybe just your ex if they're not being represented. But if it gets really nasty and you end up in the courtroom fighting over, for example, custody of your children, or who gets the house or the pension share, then your solicitor might bring in a barrister to help you argue your case in front of the judge. It's a team effort. So, solicitors are client-facing, paperwork, negotiations. Barristers are those courtroom specialists, independent advocates. We're both referred to as lawyers, but the routes to qualifying are very different. And we're going to get into that now. Okay, so let's rewind right to the beginning and look at the academic stage. You're at school, maybe you're picking GCSEs or A-levels, or you're thinking about university. What do you actually need to become a lawyer? Well, at GCSE and A-level, there aren't any compulsory subjects. You haven't got to take Latin, for example. You don't need law at A-level. What you do need is a solid foundation in essay-based critical thinking subjects. I focused on English at A-level. I also did history. English, when I look back, is actually brilliant and has really helped me in my legal career. History also helped because these will develop skills that you'll use in law. Research, essay writing, looking at details. Maths is also great if you're heading, for example, for a commercial or a financial law firm. It's not essential though. And here's the secret. Law schools, universities, they don't really care about the subjects that you've chosen at A-levels as long as you've got good grades and that you can show you are a critical thinker and argue your case. If you're able to show that, you're in with a good shout. So if you're sitting there worrying you didn't pick the right subject, relax, you can still be a lawyer. So most people will go to university. You've got two main options. You can either do a law degree or do any other degree and then do a law conversion course. So your straightforward law degree, or your LLB, is 3 years. It covers the core foundations, things like contract law, criminal law, land law, tort, EU law, public law, all the juicy stuff. This is the direct route. But let's say you do English or biology or even drama, you can still become a lawyer. You've just got to take an extra course after your degree called the Postgraduate Diploma in Law, or the PGDL. It's like a conversion course that takes about a year full-time or 2 years part-time. And yes, this does mean that you can do something completely random like music technology, then convert and end up in court as a barrister. In fact, many barristers come from varied academic backgrounds. Let's look at apprenticeships. In 2025, apprenticeships are becoming way more popular. Why? Because university is expensive. If you do a solicitor apprenticeship, you train while you work. It usually takes about 6 years, but your employer pays your course fees and you get a salary while studying. By the end, you're fully qualified without the £50,000 debt. Pretty tempting, right? Especially if you're not keen on spending 3 years at uni. So now let's look at the two specific professions. Let's say you've chosen a solicitor. Here's your roadmap. So the SQE, this is step 1, which is the Solicitors Qualifying Exam. Forget the old LPC, that's gone now. It's all about the SQE. This is split into 2 parts. SQE1 is a massive multiple choice exam testing your legal knowledge. It's absolutely brutal. Imagine hundreds of tricky questions, each with 4 possible answers that all sound right. You'll need a prep course which can cost anywhere from £3,000 to £10,000. The SQE2 is more skills-based. Things like interviewing a client, doing advocacy, legal drafting, research. You're basically being tested on whether you can act like a solicitor in practice. Together, these exams cost around £4,500, and that's just in exam fees before your prep course, so it's not cheap, guys. Here's where the system has changed. Back in the day, you needed a 2-year training contract, which was super competitive. Now, you just need 2 years of qualifying work experience, and this can come from different places. It can come from law firms, which is the most traditional route. It can come from in-house legal teams, even volunteering at a law clinic. You can split it up, mix and match, and it doesn't all need to be in one go. This way, it makes it more accessible, but it also means that you have to be proactive. You can't just sit around waiting for one firm to give you a contract. You've got to patchwork your experience together. Once you've passed the SQE and done your QWE, the Solicitors Regulation Authority checks your character and suitability. They look at things like criminal convictions or serious financial issues. If you pass that, congrats, you're admitted as a solicitor. So overall, we're talking about 3 years at uni, plus your SQE prep and exams, plus 2 years of qualifying work experience, or QWE. That's about 6 to 7 years in total, and the costs, well, depending on where you go and who you study with, anywhere between, let's say, £30,000 to £60,000, depending on your route. Unless, of course, you do the solicitor apprenticeship, in which case, lucky you, it's all paid for. So now that we've looked at becoming a solicitor, let's look at becoming a barrister. If your dream is to stand up in court, wig and gown, cross-examining witnesses like something out of Suits meets, I don't know, Rumpole of the Bailey, then you're looking at the barrister route. And let me tell you, it is really, really competitive. The first stage, the academic stage, is exactly the same as solicitors. So you're going to have to get a law degree or a non-law degree and then do your PGDL. So up until that point, it's exactly the same. However, step 2 for a barrister, you're going to have to join an Inn of Court. And this is where it's different, because before you even do your training, you have to join one of the 4 inns. And they are Inner Temple, Middle Temple, Gray's Inn, or Lincoln's Inn. Think of them as old school professional clubs. And yes, you are going to need to attend some dinners in gowns. It's all very traditional at the bar. But they also give scholarships mentoring and training. So it's not all about candlelit meals. Your vocational stage is the BTC, or the bar training course. It takes 1 year full-time or 2 years part-time, and it can cost anywhere between 12 to 20,000. This is where you're going to learn advocacy, drafting, criminal and civil litigation, ethics, basically everything that you need to survive in court. Once you've got the vocational stage under your belt, you are then looking for pupillage, and this is the big one. Applying for pupillage is a little bit like an apprenticeship with a barrister's chambers. You'll spend 6 months shadowing, then 6 months practicing under supervision. It's really tough to get a pupillage. At this stage, you've paid a minimum of, let's say, 20,000, sometimes 50,000 if you're at the top chambers. But here's the kicker. There's only around 500 pupillages each year, and thousands, and I'm talking thousands of applicants. It's brutally competitive. Once you've survived pupillage, if you're lucky enough to get one, and you've impressed your chambers, you may then be offered a tenancy. This means that you are a permanent member of chambers, self-employed, but now you can start to build your own practice. If you don't get tenancy, well, some of the options are, and many barristers have done this, they'll either reapply, they'll switch chambers, or they'll sometimes even switch career paths. It's not guaranteed tenancy, and again, really, really competitive. So let's summarise it. You're looking at 3 years in uni, 1 year at PGDL if you didn't get your law degree, 1 year at the bar doing your BTC, and 1 year pupillage. So a total of between 6 to 7 years, unless of course you do some of that part-time. And it's going to cost you anywhere between 40 to 70,000, depending on, of course, your courses that you choose and your living expenses. So now let's look at the differences between the two and what it's really like. So the career of a solicitor, I would describe it as being far more structured career path. You're often part of a firm. You do work long hours, particularly in the big city firms, but it's stable. You get a salary. You can specialise in things such as family law, corporate, property, crime, immigration. You're client-facing and you're managing cases. A lot of cases, anywhere between sort of 50 to 100 cases, depending on what area of law you go into. Barristers is completely the opposite. You're self-employed for a start, so there's no regular salary. You pay for your own office space, which, as I've said, is called chambers, and you kind of have to hustle for your work. That means that your income can be a little bit unstable. Some years are good, some years not so much. But if you love advocacy and being in court, then obviously it's the career for you. The truth of it is that neither of these professions are glamorous all the time. Yes, we have the big dramatic trials and the big corporate deals, but there are also late nights, piles of paperwork, and really stressful clients. It's not like what you see on the TV. But as I said right at the start, it can be, and it has been for me, deeply rewarding. When you win a case or you are able to impact somebody's life by getting a father contact with their children or getting a wife a share of something she didn't even know existed, it's really rewarding. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what's changing in 2025. Diversity and access. So we're going to have more scholarships, mentoring, apprenticeships to widen access to the law. Technology. AI is doing legal research. Online court hearings are becoming the norm now. Don't worry, robots aren't replacing us, but they are making our job faster. Work-life balance. Flexible working is becoming more common, particularly for solicitors. And of course, there's more international law firms, which is allowing solicitors to do more cross-border work. So the profession is ever evolving. That, of course, means that you're going to need to be more adaptable, tech-savvy, and above all else, resilient. So, pros and cons. Which one should you choose? Well, the pros of being a barrister are independence, advocacy, prestige, intellectually challenging. If you're up for a challenge, that might be the route for you. The cons, I would say, the biggest con would be the unstable income. It's really competitive and mega stressful. Solicitor, for me, the pros would be the stability, teamwork. I mean, I've got a great team. You can work in a variety of specialisms, and you've got a more clear career ladder, depending on where you want to go. Do you want to go into a smaller firm or a bigger firm? Do you want to maybe just stay in your lane as a solicitor, or maybe you want to become a partner, equity partner, for example. The cons, though, is that we do long hours, loads of paperwork, less courtroom drama, but you are dealing with a lot more clients than a barrister, and all at the same time. I would suggest, for those of you thinking about entering into the profession, think about your personality. Do you thrive on performing under pressure? If so, then barrister might be your path. Do you like teamwork, strategy, more stability, working more closely with the client? Well, then you might be looking at the career of a solicitor. I've been lucky enough to do both. I began my career as a barrister and I've ended up as a solicitor. I've been a solicitor for more years than I was a barrister. From personal experience, I would say that a solicitor suits me better, but that's because I had a family. So I wanted the stability. Even though it was long hours, it's long hours, but you've got the ability to work from home a little bit more than you have as a barrister. As a barrister, you've got to be in the courtroom. There's no getting around that. There you have it. Becoming a lawyer in the UK in 2025, it's not a walk in the park, guys. It does take time, a lot of time. It's expensive, and above all else, it requires a lot of resilience. But if you're passionate about justice, about helping people, about arguing your case, then take it from me, it can be the career of a lifetime. Guys, if you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe for more legal career content, and drop me a comment below. Are you leaning more towards solicitor, barrister, or are you still undecided? I'd love to know.